What do you make of this? Should Ken be sanctioned? Should he be punished for speaking his mind?
You see, so when you are dealing with a political party made up of people who are very unprincipled, this is what you get. First and foremost, this is a party not long ago who were on the neck of security agencies, that even though some of the things that were being said by their own people were clear and were against the laws of the Republic, particularly section 207, 208 of our criminal code. And yet they knew it. Some of the people who were speaking were lawyers. They said, no, the government has an agenda against free speech and that people should be allowed to speak freely, regardless. This is a man who has not even said anything close to what others have said. He is just saying the things he's been saying, and they've been cheering him on. In fact, for years, the man has said so many things. I mean, Honorable Kennedy, Agyapong has said so many things, and they've applauded him. Some of which have inured to their political benefit. They won elections with them. What you may, whatever. I don't want to remind viewers of some of the things. Some cannot be said here. And they were cheering him on. In fact, when he was even arrested, look, they brought the whole of Accra to a standstill. The MPP. Why? But if you are one who would leave a dog for a tiger, when you nurture it, eventually you will see the trait. And it's up to you. You have to take whatever you brought up. You see, but in this case, this particular one, I don't even see any problem with it. But if this is how they want to go about it, it's their own cup of tea. What has the man said? And I'll refer to their constitution for you to understand if it breaches, and you can let's do that.
Well, they say he's violated Article 3 of the MPP's constitution.
Which is what? What does it say?
It requires members to be truthful and loyal to the party and
protect the reputation. I have
the party.
It requires members to be what?
To be truthful and loyal to the party. And to protect and promote the good name of the party.
Yes, but of course, the man, according to him, is saying the truth. He's not lying. He's not said he's lying. Who determines who is lying?
But that's his truth.
Yes, but I mean, everybody's truth, whatever others are saying, is their own truth.
Yes.
Who subjected this to any rigorous scrutiny to know who is telling the truth or not? And since when did this article become part of their constitution? We've heard what Abronya has been saying against this man and other people. Is Kennedy Agyapong no longer an MPP person? So if it is said against him, it's fine. That one is gospel. But if he says anything against any other person, that's where you draw the line. If you are expelling him, it's your own matter. We don't care. But for me, he said nothing that deserves this kind of attention. But if you want to grant him, to the extent that Samuel who wants to join this, he is experienced. This is how they want to. Look, this is a man what is he saying? Fact. Is it true that the MPP shamelessly did what they did at Afari? Some of their own people cannot even defend it. You've seen the videos that is going around. When Dr. Bawumia said he's been assured that in 2022, the Afari project will be completed. The videos are all over. Dr. Bawumia himself, as Vice President of the Republic. It is a fact, per the report, we don't have time, that the structure itself was over 90% complete. Just within 2 years. Because the construction actually started in 2014. What has been discussed before 2014 is not really the issue. But when it started, within 2 years, over 90% of the structure was put. And then you came, and this is a region that gives you the highest vote. In fact, all your political fortunes depend on this region. And you have the likes of Honorable and you free and co, who now are shouting on top of the roof that something needs to be done. They were in power. For 8 years, what did you do? And they keep telling us it's not true that we didn't do anything. Tell us what you did. We brought this water, we brought this cup. Tell us. They always say that we did something. 90% complete for the architecture, just the biomedical installations and all that. Within 8 years, couldn't do. And you are telling us that it's due to some disagreements and whatever, which you couldn't resolve. And this government comes and is saddled with all this confusion. Now the contractor is claiming so much money. We need to go and find the money and go back to it. Then you go and take cutlasses when you don't even read your own compound, your own place. I mean, you are not the people who clears the reader. Yet you could take cutlasses, including some ladies I don't want to, who are members of parliament.
They're patriotic citizens.
And they just become patriotic. They weren't before.
Well, we can all become patriotic at some point.
At some point. Yes. So they are now patriotic. We thank God that they weren't within the 8 years, but they are now. And then you walk there and you want just the optics because you think Ghanaians are dumb. And when the backlash comes and your own man is exposing you, then we feel Ghanaian. It should be celebrated. Your he has rather been patriotic because you know you failed. So in this particular instance, I celebrate Ken for coming up, even though his tradition is being disingenuous. He says, I will not. I will tell the truth for the people of Ghana.
But in telling the truth, he's ended up throwing his own party under the bus.
But so we are encouraging people to lie regardless. People to deceive the people of Ghana.
No, just keep quiet.
But why should we keep quiet?
You're embarrassed your party.
No, but you see, that's why I'm saying that since when things have been said, when he was saying things against other people, you celebrated him. Did you subject him to the scrutiny you want us to subject him to, whether he was speaking the truth or not? So you've not, because it's against you, and is that what their constitution says? That if it is against you, then you can activate the provision of the look. If you read their constitution, it defines this anti-party whatever behavior as a speech that undermines the party's unity.
Yeah.
Violates established codes of conduct and brings the party into disrepute. Tell me where this comes in. He says we failed the people of Ashanti region. But he said the only person who is saying, in fact, Dr. Baumia on some occasion when he was doing this, was a thank you to or whatever, he admitted to certain things that we didn't do this, we did. In fact, Dr. Baumia on a platform, he said he was even surprised to hear from, and I was shocked to hear from him. He said that at the time Ghanaians were suffering, they were doing certain things that did not inure to the benefit of Ghanaians. To smote them, you've lost election. People are telling you the truth that we failed this, we failed that. How is that supposed to be? So he should be quiet because you want Ghanaians to be deceived. He would not.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, what we are saying is this. Look, for me, if Ken is saying what he is saying, and this can land him in this trouble, I encourage them to proceed.
Okay.
Because the man is saying that next year he will tell us more. We are waiting. Let me even give you this. This issue of the 10%, he said, is that the reason they want to subject him to this? The man is saying that you people took the contracts and came to sell the contracts to him and other people and took 10% away. Is it true or false? Were you not in this country when the deputy finance minister came to parliament on the 10th day of March 2025, third day, and told the people of Ghana that we had conducted, the president had initiated a certain investigation into the Agenda 111, and the Auditor General's report, which is dated, which report is dated, I think, in March 2025, said that 35 contractors had taken a whooping $7.9 million, but failed to even turn up at the site. This is what the Auditor General's report is saying. If they want prosecution, it will happen. Because you see, for you to take $7.9 million as mobilization and vote, it means that there are accomplices within the system. There is no way a contractor could take such a whooping amount and bolt without the authorities, the public servants or the people, public authorities watch him to bolt. It means that they are all accomplices. So if Ken is saying this, we are not surprised. But we want further details. And you see, if anybody quotes anything Ken may have said against NDC, the person may be would be misleading them. Because you sit here, if I ask you what pertains in Metro TV, you would be in a position to tell me more, but you can't tell me much about what happens in GTV or TV3. I will believe you if you speak about matters in Metro than elsewhere. So anybody who tries to equalize by saying he said this against you too, that's unfair. Right. Because he's within. Okay. We will believe him because he's with you. He said they came to sell the contract to him. Don't equalize, because as for us, he's not with us. He may be lying, but yours is within. Okay. So we will take it as the gospel.
Officers. One is straightforward. Mr. Samuel Tete has come to the age limit of his service, so he's retiring. So there's no qualms about it. Dr. Bosman Asare, he has been very specific in the reason why he's resigning. So he said that I think he has served Ghana in one particular capacity. Before he became the EC deputy chair, he was at the Department of Political Science. He was my former head of department. And then when MPP government came, he was appointed to that particular position. And he accepted, thinking that he's going to serve the country in another capacity. So I think he believes he has done it to the point that he wants to go back to academia. And I think in a lot of countries, usually, I think particularly Japan and other Southeast Asian countries, they usually want people who have served in the public sector with practical experience to go back to the classroom. Because it's there that you are able to combine both theory and practice to be able to better shape and train the way our future leaders deserve to be trained. So if he believes that he's going back to academia, he stated it clearly that that's the reason why. Now, people are reading a lot of meanings into it, that NDC said when they come to power, they're going to sack him and then Jean. But if that is actually the reason that is pushing him, why is the EC chair herself not resigning? Right. You understand? If it was that kind of, there's a government pressure behind the scenes and that has pushed him, then why is the EC chair herself not resigning? And just like you've mentioned, there was another petition recently to get 2 deputies and the EC chair herself removed. And the president submitted it to the Chief Justice. And the Chief Justice found no, what's the name? Prima facie case against it. So if it was vindictive from government, though I understand perfectly that the judiciary is an independent institution, but also know that they can sometimes be a little bit of political influence. So if it was government-induced or government instigated, you will have seen that things will have worked very differently. So I believe that, like Felix Ofosu-Kwakye mentioned, Dr. Bosman Asare believed that it is high time he started serving this nation in a very different capacity, and government had no hand in it. But now, the difficulty has to do with the former Chief Justice, Justice Sophia Akuffo. As we were told, her resignation letter dated September 2025, last year. But she didn't state the reason why she's retiring. Resigning. And then the Council of Elders pleaded with the president to hold on with the acceptance so that they can engage her and see if there are reasons that they can deal with so that she will stay. But I think that effort didn't yield much needed results. And they had to give the president the green light to accept. So because she didn't clearly state why she is resigning from the Council of State, it has opened up a lot of speculations, both positive and negative. Some people mention that it is likely because she disagreed with the Council of State decision regarding when they were going to move the former Chief Justice Getu Tokono, and her open disagreement. No, sorry, I think she disagreed in camera when she was asked to testify before the Article 146 committee. And then the subsequent reportage of this thing. So people believe that if that is the case, then you have no bearing to represent or sit in this particular committee. And there's also, I've heard funny reasons. I've heard people saying that, oh, she has been made a queen mother in her hometown, and that is going to take much of the toll. Yeah. I think because she didn't specifically state the reason why it has opened up a lot of speculation around that issue. But one thing has to be clear, that we are in a democratic era, and there has been a clear demonstration of the respect for democratic principles and individual rights and liberties under this government. And people have the right to freely associate and to freely self-determine where they want to live their life. So one thing that is very clear in all the resignation is that those people did it at their own will, and there hasn't been any pressure from governments or government quarters whatsoever. And I wish all of them well moving forward.
Would it be far-fetched or inconceivable, or you think that would be illogical for anybody to surmise or to even think that the reason why the reason why Sophia Kufu resigned was because she was unhappy, or she had a disquiet or her misgivings about how the processes that led to the removal of Justice Tokonu. So as a matter of principle, she decided that, look, I don't want to belong here, because as we played the tape we played earlier, she gave us the reasons why she thought that something was fundamentally wrong with the process or the procedure. Do you think it will be far-fetched? It will be wrong, or it would be a beggar's belief for anybody to think that way?
I think a lot of people who know her,
especially when you look at the timing, it both happened in September.
A lot of people who know her know that she's a very principled person, and she has defied all odds, including even petitioning. What's the name? How do you call it?
Picketing.
Against his own political party.
Also
he has
DDP.
supported in the DDP case. We saw her come up strongly, speak for the underprivileged, and so she has been a very principled woman, if you know her. And I believe that if she believes, and she has openly, she hasn't hidden the fact that she wasn't happy with the processes that led to the removal of the former Chief Justice as a person. And she has stated it openly in interviews.
Yes.
So I believe that if she is a very principled person that we know her for,
In fact, when the Daily Guide reported that she had recused herself, was it recused or she was against it? You know, there was this report that Sophia Kufu was against it. I've forgotten exactly what the story was, whether she had recused herself, i.e. she wasn't part.
Whichever way it is,
Whichever
she didn't support.
Yes, she didn't support it, You know, as we speak, we still haven't heard her speak to that matter. Whether indeed, as was reported, whether indeed what the publication said was actually true. She still hasn't spoken on it.
So what I believe is that as an individual with principles, I believe that if she is not in support of a process or any thing that contradicts her personal principles, she may resign. But the fact is that she has left all of us in a dilemma, because she didn't state it clearly in the resignation letter, as Bossman Asare did. So we've had commentaries and interviews outside of what is stated in the resignation letter, maybe accusing the processes of not being fair, or saying things that were contrary to the decision that has been taken. So I believe it would have done Ghanaians a lot of help if she had clearly stated the reason why but it is also at her discretion not to do that. But that also opens up the Pandora box for a lot of speculations. And I believe that most of the commentaries that she has given or interviews that she has run has been very tangential to the main resignation letter. And the engagement of the Council of State after her resignation letter was submitted, just to find out the reason why she resigned, and didn't yield much results. So I believe that it is now to herself and God why she has resigned. But until that is clearly stated, there will still be a lot of commentary and politicization around this issue. But one thing that is certain is the fact that government has no hand in this. Government hasn't pushed anybody, and I believe she did it at her own will, based on her own principles. And I think whichever way it is, the President of the Republic has now accepted the resignation. And I believe processes will start to place her in the Council of State.
Well, so somebody just sent to me, in fact, she abstained, just so we are to be more clear or to be more specific, so she abstained. Now, the other issue is this, that Sophia Kufu was you can call it a lone voice in that room, 31 of them. And because of her disagreements that she had, based on which she abstained from the vote, that led to Tokonu's removal as Chief Justice. Now, and her subsequent public interactions on this matter, you saw that media engagement at the IEA forum. Do you think that her public disagreement with the processes should have morally stopped her from becoming a member of the Council of State, or would constitute a moral justification for her to say that, look, because I am not in favor of this, I am resigning? And then number two, if she did, but she resigned last year, September.
Yeah.
Why do you think that the government has kept this matter from us all the way? I mean, it's almost a year. That's about 10 months or so. Why is the government in communication machinery, why have they deemed it necessary now to come out and state it? In fact, just a day after the newspapers reported it, why have they kept it, from all of us till now? Why?
So on the first issue, I think democracy is about disagreement, and in a very healthy manner.
Yeah.
It's we competitively disagree to be able to make decisions, to be able to move this country forward. So out of the 31 Council of State members, if she was the only one in certain, there have been other issues that she has agreed with the other 30 members, right?
Yeah.
And there may be issues that she may disagree. And I believe there may be issues that other members will also disagree.
True.
So I think that is the beauty of democracy. And I don't think disagreement based on principle or based on the facts of the matter is something that will prompt somebody to resign. So I suspect that the decision to disagree in itself, based on principle and facts, in itself doesn't amount to resigning.
Okay.
So I believe there may be another reason why she still don't want us to know. But on the second bit of the delay response, my understanding is that when the resignation letter was tendered in September 2025, the Council of State actually prevailed on the president to delay acceptance so that they will engage her and find out the reasons why and see whether it is something that they can resolve so that she will still remain part of it. And I believe that effort has dragged for, or whatever number of months that they have engaged.
That's a tad long.
So I believe this came into the public domain because they had not given the president the go-ahead that maybe our effort is not yielding the kind of results we had intended. So I think you can now go ahead to accept. So I believe it was when the president accepted it that it now became news and then it is out there. So at that particular point in time, if the news had broken, then it would have been, and later on, the Council of State members were able to convince her, maybe to rescind her that decision, then it would have been a kind of double reportage. I believe that may be the reason why there was a delay in communicating whatever was going on, up to the point that the Council of Elders team now believed that this is what we wanted, or this engagement, I think, can no longer continue because of this and this. So we now beg the president and give him the go-ahead to accept. So it was when the president has accepted, based on the advice of the Council of Elders member who were engaging, I believe that's not the reason why it is.
So Prof, as a mere mortal, because I don't work at the Council of State, I don't work at the Presidency, I'm only a Ghanaian and a journalist. We're here interrogating the issues. If it's had to take close to about 10 months for us to get to the bottom of this matter, what I can guess is there's been a back and forth. Because this exercise of wanting to find out, why do you want to go? What's the issue? Can we help you? It's not something that should take 24 hours. But it's taken us 10 months for us to find out. Does that suggest that there are issues?
Yeah, I suspect so. She will not resign if there are no issues.
Yes.
There are issues, or there may be issues.
I mean, I'm saying graver issues than we actually think.
Maybe something that she believes even the public don't have to know.
Right.
Maybe for now. Maybe later years, she may make it known if there are actual issues. But it could also sincerely be that there are no issues. She just resigned on a matter of principle.
10 months.
And we are now finding issues.
10 months.
So I believe, I'm not sure, but my colleague here is a very good expert in conflict resolution and mediation.
Yes,
it drags.
that's true. Yes.
Sometimes it takes time. It takes time.
We've decided
You're also a lecturer in conflict. So, as a lecturer in conflict, he also understands the area very well.
So it takes time.
Yeah.
So I believe maybe in very sensitive cases like this. So I think as long as the back behind the scenes channel was exhausted, and the final belief that no, maybe we can't keep dragging this issue, or maybe it is not appropriate to let the president know what is going on. I think it was based on this that the president not took the firm decision to accept.
Well, it's possible that she said, give me time to think about it.
Yeah.
And that's why it's had to take us 10 months. Mike, we don't care. What do you think? What's been going through your mind?
I mean, I like the way that we've been able to dissect this here, and now let's dissect it there.
Okay.
To look at the other side. He has spoken on some of the matters which were speculative, and because we don't have the reason. And also, if you look at Mr. Felix Ofosukwache, he's also mentioned perhaps. But before we go on to Madam Sophia Ekufu, I'll just have a quick bite at the resignation and the retirement of the EC deputy commissioners. It's in line with their work. The retirement of Mr. Samuel Tete was due, and he's retired, graciously, and everything has gone well. And I think we wish him the best of luck. Then we have Mr. Bosman Asari, who has decided voluntarily to retire to go into academia. I think that if he had wanted to avoid the threats that were coming to him from NDC, which I would say empty threats, no basis, no grounding, he stood and was ready to deal with whatever charges. But then the Council of State, the Chief Justice, and all the various parties who were involved looked at the case and saw that it was frivolous. No prima facie case to answer. And so it was thrown out. After his dignity was restored, he then voluntarily decided that he was going to resign. And for that to kudos, and we wish him the best of luck as he goes to join or replace my brother here, who may have come into the deeper political waters from the lighter academic sphere. Now, Sophia Ekufu, I just want to give a certain background to the lady so that we know who we are talking about. Then later we see what are we talking about. I mean, this is a woman of great honor, a lovely woman who has achieved a lot, and she is an exemplary woman of Ghana. We want such women of valor, women to be our mothers, our forebears, people who set examples for us to follow. A woman who went to Wesley Girls School, went to Legon University, our own beloved university here, and then after that to Harvard University, achieved so many things. And in fact, contrary to what some people will try to label her as, she's a woman of mixed achievements in that she was appointed to the Supreme Court by President Rawlings, and then that was all the way in 1995. And then she went through the system and was later made Chief Justice by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And I want to make this clear that she is not related to Nana Akufo-Addo. The name Ekufu is one of the most widespread names in the whole Ekuapem region. I'm sure every 7th or 10th person is Ekufu. So please, we should not have that thing. There's Ekufu, there's Addo. Nana Akufo-Addo's own happens to be the surname combined, Ekufu na Addo. And what we call a double-barreled surname. So otherwise, he'll be related to every Addo in that place. People like Gloria Kufu and all the rest are not related to him. They may bear the same surname and may have some connection by way which in Ghana all of us do have some sort of connection whatsoever, but they are not close or family related members. So Gloria Kufu is a woman of her own right. And by virtue of her long serving and the way that she's worked in areas like the Commonwealth, in various roles, whether it came to arbitration and so on and so forth, after being appointed from 1995, Georgina Wood was leaving. So once the Chief Justice Georgina Wood was leaving, she was looked at as one of the best alternatives to be Chief Justice. And I think even because of her age, she wasn't there for long.
Yeah.
But very qualified woman, very respected woman, and she was appointed to the bench as the Chief Justice under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.